So guys, finally I have a beautiful message for these two gentlemen, Sammy Gyamfi and Malik Basintale. Yeah, they really worked hard to bring the NDC back in power, and they are one of the fantastic communication officers any political party can get. They are very young, they are very passionate about what they are doing, they do their research, and they have a lot of fire and a lot of energy. That's great. Other political parties can learn to give young people the opportunity, because there is something about youthful exuberance that everybody can learn. But without being said and done, without being said, please, enough of the campaigning. The campaign is over. Some of us predicted that the NDC was going to win, and some of us believe that when the going gets tough or things are not going on well, it is better you go for a change. So some of us had a lot of respect, and we're happy that Ghanaians going forward decided that they will not be taken for granted. But that being said and done, now you have power. After elections, no campaign, do the work. I think that's what Ghanaians are looking for from the NDC. So please, Basintale and the NDC communicators, please, this is now time to tell Ghanaians what you are going to do. At the right time, I'm going to make a video about the things that Muhammad said he was going to do in his first 120 days. This is the time you need to focus on. One of the things that I want you guys to do is the 24-hour economy. And at the right time, I'll read all the things that you guys said you were going to do. Watch this video about Malik Basintale. Yeah, he was on TV3 with Roland Walker, one-on-one with Roland Walker after the election. And I thought he was still campaigning, and the things he was saying is not needed. But watch it.
6th of December, power goes back into the hands of the Ghanaian people. The Ghanaian people then determine who they want to give power to. And so if Brother Champon, together with all other people who were swearing oracles they were not going to hand over power, had checked their hands on the 7th of December, they would have realized that power had left their hands. And the Ghanaian people bestowed power in the hands of the NDC. I think it's time to forge on. I think it's time to get to work. We made so many promises. We made so many assurances. We had so many contracts with the Ghanaian people. And it's incumbent on us to exhibit that in a very solemn way so the NDC could stay in power forever. I believe strongly that John Mahama has come to rescue this country. I believe strongly that all our hopes that were shattered will begin to be revived. Go to town and check our streets. People are out there demonstrating, exhibiting their joy that a new dawn has arrived and that a new leader has come. And that leader is going to get us to the promised land. Look, for 8 years, Roland, we have suffered under excruciating poverty. 8 years we've been under hardships. 8 years, over 800,000 people have gone down the poverty lane. 8 years, over 1.8 million Ghanaian youths have stayed unemployed. 8 years, people have gone to work without hope. 8 years, inflation had skyrocketed to 54%. 8 years, all the government knew how to do was to borrow out of the roof. And Baumia would go out there, borrow recklessly to the extent that we are indebted to a tune of about 780 billion. Just yesterday, WAEC issued a statement that we're owing them and they were not going to release our results. I looked in the skies and I said, all the monies we had borrowed, what were we using it for? All the revenues we had incurred, we had accrued in this economy, what were we using it for? Even WAEC, Baumia, you couldn't pay them. And then you come and stand before us and you say, Sisi Fianeme, or Dominicana, and you think Ghanaians are going to vote for Dominicana. If you don't have money, how do you give Odoka? You need to work, make money, and then you can set the barricades and the barriers right. And so, Roland, I think that this election was a stop to impunity. This election was a stop to nepotism. This election was a stop to corruption. This election was a stop to, ineptitude. This election was a stop to family and friends. This election was a stop to, visionlessness and some government in power that clearly did not have direction and did not know what they were doing. This election was a total stop to incompetence, and it's incumbent on us as a government to take us out of the woods and get us to the promised lands. I listened to, briefly, before I land, I listened to my very big brother, Lakusa, make a point. Now, look, politicians build here, build here, and all of that. Look, the truth of the matter is that Ghanaians are not worried if you as a politician even buy 5,000 cars. Ghanaians are worried if you drive 5,000 cars and they stay in poverty. If Ghanaians are satisfied, if you make Ghanaians appreciate the work you are doing, you can even drive a private jet. Nobody cares. But if a Ghanaian youth goes to school for 22 years, the person graduates and they do not get a job, and you waste 14,000 pounds an hour flying a private jet, you think they're going to take that nonsense? Every Ghanaian youth is going to fight against it. But if you make people work, people have good salaries, people make mama and dad proud, nurses are posted, teachers are posted, I complete the university and I can get a job under the 24-hour economy. If you want to go and buy a jet ski, if you want to buy a ship, Ghanaians will say, you have done for us, you can do for yourself. But if you keep doing for yourself and you don't do for us, we'll rise against it. Absolutely. Well,
all right, so you watched it. So, like I'm saying, media, this is what I think. Malik Basintale is a smart guy. He's a very young guy, but very smart, and I love his passion. His mindset around politics, around leadership is quite different. Somebody might argue that it's because maybe they are in opposition. When they come into power, things might change. I don't know. It's possible. It could also be possible that they may maintain who they are. But one thing that Malik Basintale and the NDC must know is that politics and elections cost a lot of money. So already a lot of money has been invested by all these MPs over the 8-year period whilst they were in opposition, by the flag bearers, by those who will be elected as ministers and the rest. So there is a tendency that they'll be tempted to make up for whatever they've lost over the period. I condemn that politics of you invest, you come and take, because if you do that, it means that you need to be involved in corrupt deals to be able to cover all those costs. So there is a serious test for the NDC to prove that it will not be government as usual. It will not be government of politics. It will not be government of corruption. It will not be government where political appointees will be selected whether they can do the work or they cannot do the work. It will not be a government of family and friends. It will not be a government where the leadership of the president-elect John Mahama will be clearing his political appointees when there are issues of scandal. They should be able to demonstrate that they are going to crack the whip when it comes to corruption, when it comes to wrongdoing. It should be clear. Apart from that, they should be able to also demonstrate that they will be able to fulfill the promises they give to Ghanaians, especially scrubbing away those unnecessary taxes, e-levy, betting tax, COVID tax, and also be able to provide jobs. Like I said, every government must be able to help its citizens be able to provide its food, clothing, and shelter. I don't know how they are going to start, whether they are going to start with rice, whether they are going to start with poultry, whether they are going to start with oil, whether they are going to also try and increase the production of cocoa, whether they are going to convince Ghanaians that they don't have to sell their cocoa lands for illegal mining. We are looking at how they are going to sanitize the mining sector, how they are going to restore our destroyed and polluted waters. We are looking at how they are going to restore our environment, the trees and the forest reserves, and most importantly, how they are going to change the color of our water back. How they are going to create sustainable employment, not just by employing people into the public sector, but we're trying to increase production and trying to industrialize, trying to bring factories, manufacturing organizations that will be able to produce and be able to export and be able to bring foreign income and also be able to give Ghanaians decent job. We're also looking at how they are not going to take advantage of our institution, our court system, our judges, the appointment of people like Commissioner General of Head, Joyce Bauer Muntari or whatever, Joyce Bauer Muntawa or whatever. She is an aide to the president-elect, saying that the EC will be changed and all those things. Ghanaians are watching, and for NDC, I think NDC has 4 years, and that will be the maximum for Mahama. People have argued that the constitution can be changed for Mahama to go to do more than 8 years. I'll be so disappointed if the NDC or Mahama and the MP speak such a move. They may be having majority in parliament, but for us, we'll be here to push an agenda for it not to happen, even if they are able to change the law in terms of the voting, because it's not advisable. Regardless, even if Mahama comes to perform extraordinary, he should be able to put somebody in charge, or he should be able to put somebody on the job, or he should clearly show that he's working with A, B, and C, and prove that he introduced a person to the people of Ghana, and after his 4 years in 2028, they can present the person to the people of Ghana. But for him to change the constitution to go more than 8 years, that will not be fair, because the truth of the matter is, if you change it, it will not just affect you, it will affect all subsequent persons. And if we do that, we may end up with a tyrant who may not be working but may continue to stay in power for long. So these are things that we want the NDC communicators to focus on. Elections are over. Do the work. It's a lot of work, like he himself said. Sincerely, when you listen to the interview, he alluded to the fact that it's a lot of work. But in their discussions now, we want to hear how they are going to implement the promises that they gave to the people of Ghana. We want to hear that. So that's it. And he also saying that the NPP will be in power forever. Please, sorry, the NDC will be in power forever. No political party will be in power forever. I don't know why politicians do not learn. That was what the NPP and the rest were saying, and Ghanaians voted them out of office. You come and do the work, and at the end of the day, tell Ghanaians what you've done. As it stands now, NPP has an upper hand in 2028 until John Mahama delivers extraordinary, because now there is no presidential candidate that has been introduced and has won the first time on his or her introduction. So let me explain. When Kufuor was introduced, Kufuor competed with JJ in 96. He lost it. Then Atta Mills was also introduced in 2000. But because Kufuor was already known, Kufuor took it. Then Atta Mills was in the race, and in 2008, the MPP introduced Akufo-Addo. But because people knew Atta Mills already, it was difficult for Akufo-Addo. But because Atta Mills did not serve his term, JM's own was quite different. And JM too was a vice president. So we sort of knew JM. And that issue of 8 years, because Atta Mills had just started his term in office, people chose JM ahead of Nana. So that is an outlier, and that is quite a peculiar situation. So that is it, and now JM has come again. So the MPP, let me quickly speak on the MPP. No, we'll do a special edition for the MPP. Whether they should go with Baumia, or whether they should come with Kennedy Japan, or whether they should come with a different candidate, or whether they should maintain a pool or something, we'll do that one. But for now, the NDC should do the work. Campaign is over. Do the work. Do the work, and Ghanaians will be here and will be watching. Like I said, we want the best for Ghana, and we want good leadership, good governance. Justice MSc, like, share, comments. Love you. Thank you. I'm out.